Briefly, how it started was in the fall of '09. Nora and I read an article where we learned that the then Prime Minister, Gordon Brown, apologized on behalf of the British government for the treatment of Alan Turing during World War II. And I think we both felt surprised because we had never heard of Alan Turing, or we never knew his story. So we researched him, and we thought it was such a profound and moving tale, and we thought we should find a way for people to know who he was and what he contributed, and really felt strongly that he was sort of an unsung hero. So we optioned sort of the definitive biography on Alan, and just tried to put together a movie. It was our first project, so we really didn't know what we were doing, and it was very difficult.
I think there were no issues knowing that we would be making it. It was sort of a question of how, and also having a really big sort of burden and blessing in making it in a way that would really honor Alan Turing and his legacy. Because there's making a movie, and then there's doing a movie that's based on fact and a story that not many people know. And I think that we felt a great deal of responsibility to get it right. And the first hurdle is always your director, is your leader for the project. And I think we feel very lucky to have sort of partnered with another person from outside the studio system in Morton Tildum, who had made an exceptional film in Headhunters that was BAFTA nominated for Best Foreign Film, but nobody was looking at Headhunters thinking you should be doing a British prestige period film. But we saw it by just sort of analyzing the different elements in that film, and just sitting down with Morton and understanding that he understood the characters, he understood the historical significance, he understood why this movie was important. And I think once we had Morton on board, we were really off to the races, and we started to soft prep the film. So then we knew it was happening.
I was at a party at Nora's house and didn't know her very well at all, and sort of met her in the kitchen and was like, "Hi, hello, thanks for having me." And she told me that she had just optioned this book. She was trying to put together her first movie, and I was like, "Cheers, congrats, that's great. Have another drink. What's the book about?" And she said, "Oh, it's this biography of this mathematician. You've never heard of him." And I said, "Oh, I know a little bit about math. I went to computer programming camp when I was a kid. I went to space camp. I was this huge computer nerd." And Nora said, "Oh, it's about Alan Turing." And I instantly freaked out because I've sort of obsessed with him since I was 14 years old. I mean, among computer science people, he's this object of passionate devotion, and it was actually one of my dreams to write about him for years and years. So I instantly was like, "Please let me do this. I will do anything to do this." I just started rattling off, "This is where the movie starts, this is where the movie ends," and I've wanted to do this since I was a kid. And despite how incredibly weird I was about my initial passion for it, they let me do it anyway.
I mean, Morton had a very interesting way of working where even when we got sort of boots on the ground in London, and our production staff was just sort of like, "Give us the schedule, let's start locking in locations, let's move things forward." I feel like almost every day we were working on the script, and there have to have been at least 18 new published drafts just being on the ground, because sometimes it would be, "Okay, let's work on making sure that we have things right with Alan Turing. Let's make sure that we have the right balance with Alan and Joan. Let's go through and just look at the Sherborne story." And I think that we would sort of issue new drafts just based on individual tweaks and go through sort of element by element, sort of parsing it.